The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Versus Lagrasso, right here on Vince Russo's The Brand and Big Vito Brand Audio. I'm Noelle, I'm the Mrs. This is Big Vito. He's the Mr.
The owner of the Big Vito Brand.
Why you gotta say it like that? I own it too.
What do you own?
Fucking you.
I know.
Really?
Really?
What's this? What's that on your finger?
Okay.
Certificate of ownership. Next topic.
See, I know. Okay. All right. Let's go. What do we got going on today?
You don't want to do banter? You usually like your banter. I'm Big V from the GIG, LOB, MDC.
No. I've been refraining from that because people told me I suck on podcasting and,
It's not my fault you suck on podcasting. Pick up the game, brother. Pick it up.
I know I'm entertaining.
The floor is yours.
And people watch to see what I'm going to say and how they're going to debate me. So, hello everyone. This is Vito Lagrasso. I hope you're having a lovely evening or day. And welcome to the Big Vito Brand. The Big Vito Brand.
You're on the Russo brand right now.
No, but it's the Big Vito Brand presenting my company on the Russo brand.
You gonna edit this too?
That you work for, that you do the producing, you do the editing, you do everything possible that you do, and you do it.
What do you do?
I am the talent. I am here to look good, go to the gym, and be proactive.
What do you do that's proactive?
I'm here to keep up on the latest issues, topics, keep up on social media.
What's the topic this week, Vito?
Whatever you want to discuss.
Yeah, you keep up on the topics, all right. What are issues going on in the world right now, Vito?
Well, gas prices are up. The people in Afghanistan are still up in arms. The Israelis are still at war.
Israel's been at war for 100 years.
Excuse me. We have had a population of people who don't want to go back to work, and they feel that it's necessary to stay on unemployment. There are plenty of jobs out there, but people don't want to be treated like shit. Wrestling is in the dumpster. Major League Baseball is been hit or miss. If you're a Met or Yankee fan, Mets fan, we're in first place. Knicks, we're sucking it in the playoffs. The Nets is 50-50 chance. And football season is coming up. How about you?
Oh, I don't know. You lost again. The poll last week, you lost it.
What was the poll?
The poll was, should you fuck on the first date?
We should.
No, the people said you should not.
Baby.
47% of the people said you should not fuck on the first date.
47. You know how close that is to 50?
Your ass still lost, son. That's all that matters. They don't ask you how close in hand, shoes, and horse grenades.
Hold on a second.
That's
I
it.
gotta say this, right? Me coming to the game like this, all right? Does it look like I want a fucking long-time relationship? I want to hit that shit. Taste it. Love it. Look it.
You have a long-time relationship.
Okay, hold on.
I refuse to podcast you. Put the ring back on.
All right.
Put it back.
So we're talking about single relationship.
Put the
right?
ring back on or I'm not turning around.
So if you are single, ready to mingle, like Kris Kringle and Big Vito, you looking to hit shit on the first night, and like that's what I'm talking about. I'll put the wedding ring back on now. Okay, come back.
Let me check him.
It is. But in reality, all you friggin' jock-sniffing Noelle Harlow bitches, okay? Oh,
friends.
We have to wait.
I call them friends.
Oh, we have to stay. Oh, we have to get to write poems, send flowers. Oh, we have to get to know each other. have long texts, post on Facebook. Listen, you fucking pussy whipped bastards. You ain't looking to get fucking laid on the
Bet
first
their
night.
women are happy.
No, my woman's happy. Did you get some today, girl?
Does my face look happy?
And
to
what
you?
were you yelling? Daddy?
Does my face look happy to you right now? Does it look
Alright.
happy?
Yeah.
Because you should be more like these poem writing
I'm not.
people.
I already played that game. I got shit
When?
going on.
You've been like this since the day I met you. You're
And
no
what happened on the
different.
day I met you?
Nothing.
You fucking liar.
You fucking liar.
Everybody knows I hit it on the first day of
No.
Noel Harlow.
No.
Should I tell? Should?
I'm not stopping you.
I
They
don't-
know you make up shit, so they're
This
not
is-
going to believe a
guys-
word you say.
guys-
Mister, I'm on the Knicks.
Guys,
Never played for the Knicks in
guys,
my life.
when it comes to women, and we talking shit, and we talking boy shit, all right? Let me tell you, I don't need to lie. My reputation speaks for itself. Thank you.
Really?
All right,
That's
let's
not
go.
me. That's not me condoning it. That's not me agreeing with it.
Baby.
I said you had a big D. That's all I have to say.
And what happened on the first night?
Nothing.
We did a show. Correct? When I first came to town, and I was in your presence. And what happened?
I have no idea. We wrestled. We wrestled.
And we
We
went
both were on the show and we both
on
wrestled.
the way to the hotel, what happened?
We drove there and we got bottles of water.
And then when we got to the hotel, what happened?
We went to sleep.
Guys,
That wasn't the first day, by the way.
yeah, it was the
It was
first
not.
day I was in.
Number one, okay, Mr. Smarty Ass. I met you many years ago. Okay,
We're not talking
so it
about
wasn't
many
the first
years
day
ago.
you were in anybody's presence. We've already established you don't even remember meeting me.
Exactly, because you were nobody on the totem pole, and I wasn't like, you know.
No, it was because
over
I
there-
was a runner and I was a surprise guest on the show, and I
Baby,
was
but
snuck
nobody
in.
surprised me and told me.
Well, I had nothing to do with it. I didn't
All
even
right?
know you were on the
You
show.
were new in the business.
No,
I've
I
been-
wasn't. I had been in the business already for years.
How many years?
At least 5 by the time I met you. At least 5 years.
5 years, 5 matches. That's,
No, I
that's
had
a
worked.
career.
I worked all the time. You know what? We're going to talk about wrestling now? Really? Okay. Whoopity do. We're not talking about that. You're trying to say you always fuck on the first date,
And I do.
and you were not on a date with me when you fucked me. So there was no date. That was not a date the first time you and I had sex. I can't believe we're putting all this out on a podcast because you're a fucking idiot.
Are you a little bit upset because
I've been upset with you all day.
Because why? Because you made
Because you
love?
suck. That's why. Because you always say things and you act and you think this is good when your woman is mad at you. But it's not good.
It's not about being mad at me. It's just a fact. Okay? You hit it on the first date.
He didn't hit it on the first date.
Participate. Don't hate.
Yeah,
Participate.
he didn't hit it on the first date.
And
He'll be
my-
lucky if he ever hits it again after the way he's talked today.
And Noel Harlow, she was a participator.
My mother watches the show.
I'm
My
glad.
mother.
Your mother knows you participated?
No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't. You better say something nice right now. With this
Everybody know what
bullshit.
this is, right? Ma, get the meatloaf.
You better say something nice right now, because so far all you did was shit all over me.
I'm not shitting all over
I
you.
do everything, but I'm not in charge and I'm not a boss of anything. And then you don't want to compare your wrestling career. Then I fuck
I
on the first date. I'm not
said-
saying something
I
nice about me
said
once in a
you
while.
run the Big Vito brand.
I am the Big Vito brand.
Okay,
You just
I
are
am-
like Aunt Jemima to my
I
box
am
of
the
pancakes.
talent. I'm here to
Oh,
look
yeah, that's
good,
weak.
feel good, entertain the people.
So I get to stress and pull my hair out and edit it to the late hours of the morning and do all the work, and you get to look fucking shiny like a fucking bowling ball.
But this is wrestling.
No, it's not. This is podcast.
This is the entertainment business. One has to do that thing, and the other one has to do the other thing. I happen to be handsome and not handy.
Still doesn't pay me. Just saying. Still doesn't pay me. Do all the work. Does anybody want to do a podcast? Does anybody need a really talented person they'd like to pay to edit all night long and to pick out your music and remix things for you and make videos and book podcast guests and run your website and your social media? I'm available.
And is there any lady out there who needs somebody to cook, clean,
I can cook. I don't need you to cook, but you can't edit a podcast to save your life.
Do laundry.
Shopping, you push your button, the food shows up at the door. It's called delivery service.
So everything I do just means nothing.
Everything I do means nothing, so why shouldn't it
I
be the
didn't
same for you?
say that. I gave you
guess
props.
You didn't. No, you never give me
I gave you props.
You never give me props.
All right? You're just upset.
And then if anybody likes me, then you tell them that they're just a pussy jock sniffing motherfucker, and then they can't like me either. Because that's wrong. Because nobody could like me because I'm actually a nice person, and I have mutual interest with many of our friends and listeners. No. It just has to be because I have boobs.
I have interests with my friends.
What? You don't have any interests? The gym?
I don't
the
have
pool? A tan? What are your interests? You don't have any interests. What? Name an interest. Yourself? That's your only interest, is you. I swear to God.
Since you made me grow this beard, things have been...
You grew that beard without even telling me. I showed up and it was stuck to your face.
Exactly. Why?
I didn't make you do anything.
And right? And so I did something for my lady because she wanted it, and now I got it. And like, hey.
I want a lot of things I don't get. I don't know why the beard...
You don't like it? You don't. Tell me you don't like it.
Shave it right now. See if... I fucking dare you. You love that fucking beard. Shave it right now. I'll get the fucking clippers. Shave it right now.
No, did you know that I got a whole ensemble of new clippers and razors today?
I know it's on TikTok tonight. He's going to talk about his ensemble of clippers while I just sit
Yeah,
here.
it's good.
Did you see this fat kid play basketball? It's pretty good. Watch him go with this. I'll send it to you.
Now, right now we're supposed to be podcasting.
Well, I don't know. You're going to talk about your clippers and your grooming.
I haven't.
And your...
So what would you like to talk about today?
Well, I was going to talk about a topic, but now I'm even debating whether to do that because I might switch sides on this one and say don't ever do it.
Go ahead. What's the topic?
How long do you go into a relationship before you make the relationship permanent? How long before you make it serious? Because we're on our relationship thing. As we said before, our friend Virtue is on a relationship journey that we're on with him.
Right.
And he's been telling us he finally made it Facebook official this past week.
Right.
That's a whole new level in Big Vito's book. You're basically married once you're Facebook official because it saves him money in the long run. He doesn't have to, have a wedding or buy you a wedding gift. So you're basically married now in his book. How long before it gets serious, Vito? How long before you move ahead? And I'm not saying necessarily get engaged, which was going to be my thing. And then I was going to say run because then you deal with this shit. But how long before you make it serious? How long before you say move in together? Burn that little black book, which I know your bald ass still has one, so shut up about it. You know what? I don't even want to podcast with you anymore.
All right, guys. All right. Everything is cool in the beginning, right? Everything is new. It's fresh.
What's your big ass name?
You're getting sex every day. Everything is good.
You get that now.
Can I finish speaking, please? Thank you. So, when it's new, it's fresh. Everything is working out good. You meet the family. It's cool. But then you have that going together period where you're starting sleepovers a week at a time, a couple days at a time. You give a bottom drawer, and then things get a little, you cramp in my space, the closet space kind of disappears. So I was, for me, I'm thinking it would take a few years for you to commit to marriage.
I didn't necessarily say marriage. I said getting serious.
Well, I'm talking serious, the way you're in a good relationship where you call yourself boyfriend and girlfriend, you're attached. But you're either a what's the words I use? Hold on a second. There's a certain word I use. Is he
marriage material?
No, not marriage material. Is he a prospect? Prospect is the key. Is she a prospect, or is he a prospect to be a wife or a husband?
What, do they pan for gold?
No.
Oh, that's prospector. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Prospect. is it a prospect? Because you go through a bunch of things where you're a boyfriend, girlfriend, and you have your casual relationships where sex is good, you get to do things, you reap the benefits, but then you get to that point where, okay, is he or she a prospect? And that's where you get to see, like, okay, what do we got going on?
What gets you to that point?
Longevity of a relationship.
How long?
People, you shouldn't jump into marriage right away. You should take at least 5 years.
Let me tell you folks a tale of woe, a tale of the LaGrassos. I think you should know if you want to, and I'm not saying get married, but you should know if you're in a serious relationship within a year of being with somebody. You should know. And if you've lived with somebody, that definitely makes it, because you know who they are. So within a year, barring a head injury or something of that nature, you should know who you're with within a year. But the tale of the LaGrassos is complicated, because within a year, within not even a few months, Mr. LaGrasso said, let's get married on Thanksgiving. And we started dating in September. And I said, no. I'd like to get you to know my kids and my family before we jump into anything. So around about a year, I was ready to make that serious commitment. But oh no, Mr. LaGrasso made me bust a whole other year. Then he puts a ring on my finger and then made me wait 3 more years. And every time I mentioned wedding, he yelled at me at the top of his lungs for at least 2.5 of those 3 years. Don't be a Vito LaGrasso. It makes people miserable. Within a year, you should know whether somebody's the person you're going to keep. Don't waste people's time. Life is short. Within a year, you should know whether you want to be with that person or not. And if you don't want to be with that person, let them go. Don't make them bust. Don't make them crazy. Don't put them in a mental institution.
Listen, I say that all the time. Listen, if you're not happy with the accommodations, the door is right there.
That's
Leave.
not nice either. Treat your partner better than that, please.
But if you're not happy here, the door's in there.
What does this have to do with anything?
Wait a minute. I'm saying if you're not happy with the accommodations, the door is there. This goes for everybody in a relationship. If you're not happy with somebody, leave.
A relationship isn't the accommodations. A relationship.
Why are you?
A relationship isn't a relationship with somebody. It has nothing to do with accommodations. It has nothing to do with somebody that thinks they're Mr. or Mom. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the relationship with
All right,
the person.
but if you're not happy with the relationship, why are you? If you're going to complain about it.
But nobody complained about it, genius. I'm saying within a year. I don't even like him. I don't even like him today.
I am looking so beautiful.
I'm not happy with the accommodations, apparently.
Because the accommodations thing is just true.
No, it's stupid. It's a dumb buzzword that you say that you think it's cute. Relationships aren't about the accommodations. There's been times that I've known we haven't had the greatest accommodations, but we had a good time together and we loved each other. The accommodations may not have always been perfect.
All right, but now you got.
But it has nothing to do with it.
But if you're gonna complain, this goes for anybody, right? When you go through the hard times and you go through the good times, and you're still gonna fucking complain, what the fuck are you doing in a relationship? You might as well pack and fucking leave. Who wants to listen to fucking complaining?
But maybe if the other person, your partner, actually listened to your needs and took them into account instead of saying that they were complaints and trying to act like it's a hotel you live in and talk about the accommodations, maybe they have the issue. And not
But
you.
how
I'm
many
just saying.
fucking problems can you fucking have and
You
present
can
to
have
somebody?
1,000,000 problems. Anybody can have any number of problems. It's about how somebody treats you and acts, not accommodations, not their issues. People have issues. Issues change. As you go along in life, there's certain issues that'll change. You'll change things. You'll change wants. You'll change needs. It's about changing together, not accommodations, complaints, and bullshit. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. After 1 year, you should be able to tell whether you can be serious with the human being or not. If you take longer than that, maybe you should see someone. I'm just saying that might be a you issue.
Okay. I'm happy.
So how you say 5 years before you get serious? This isn't even talking getting married, folks. Vito LaGrasso wants to be with you for 5 years before he considers. I'm saying a year. I should be able to know.
All right.
I knew within a year I wanted to choke you
In
out.
defense of what I'm saying, and my wife could sit here and agree with me on this point. How many of our friends got married within 2 years, spent $40,000 on a fucking wedding, and got fucking divorced?
I don't know. How many of our friends? All of our friends are married that we went to their weddings.
I'll name one guy, Rob.
Rob who?
Rob Stroud.
But they got remarried.
But did they waste $40,000?
I think they wasted more than $40,000.
Thank you.
But they're also insane, and they ended up getting married, and now they have a beautiful family. They didn't give enough time to make it work when they married.
And was there another one of our friends who got to the day, week before, called me and said, Vito, I can't do this.
But he never walked down the aisle. He still hasn't walked down the aisle. She has.
But after all that time, he said, I can't do it.
But that, honestly and quite seriously, that didn't have anything to do with her. That had to do with him, and he'll even tell you that he's the one that got cold feet because of his previous marriage, and he said she was wonderful. It had nothing to do with her. She went on to have a relationship and have a family and get married. He's still
and there have been a couple other friends who went into marriage in the first year or two who are now divorced.
But with the divorce rate at 50-50 anyway, it's a flip
okay, so
of the
that's
coin.
why I say take 5 years. You really get to know each other. You're either going to do it or you're not.
Quite honestly, Vito.
Quite honestly, I have a friend who's in the Army who just got married. I know this guy 36 years. You know, you see it on...
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
36 years. When he was young, he was a stud. He looked good. As he got older, lost the looks. You know what I mean? So, I mean, game set in his ways. He's a veteran. He's my buddy. He loves me to death and respects me to death. But today, day before yesterday, he got married. It took him all this time with the same girl for him to make sure in his 50s that he was going to make this commitment for the rest of his life. Some people take longer than others to make a commitment. That's all. And that's fine.
Can I give you the other hand to that? Life is short. You're a dick. Life is short, okay? My Uncle Jack dated his girlfriend, June, for over 50 years. And he used to drink. Okay? I was telling you about him today. He used to drink, and when he was drinking, she would not marry him until he cleaned up his act.
Right.
Because it was bad.
Right.
He had a bad car accident. He got very, very hurt, and they were all drinking in the car. And he got cleaned up. He says, I got to clean up my act. He got cleaned up, and then when he got cleaned up, he wouldn't marry her. He goes, nope, you wouldn't take me as I was. But they stayed together for 50 years. And she died suddenly during a heart operation. And he stood at, hand of God, stood at her tombstone and said, I made the biggest mistake of my life. They never even lived together because that was the time they were, and they lived in apartments next door to each other. He said, I made the biggest mistake of my life. She didn't get married her whole life waiting for me because she loved me. And I loved her. And I made her wait, and now she's gone. 50 years together, not even sharing an apartment.
But guys, here's the thing. If you're not going to accept somebody at their worst, health-wise, mental-wise, physically-wise, and you're not going to accept the worst of them, right? And then you get better, and then they still, like, you know, okay, you didn't accept me when I was this bad, but now that I'm better, the hard work is over. How about Vito LaGrasso and Noah Harlow? We got married, and she got sick on our wedding day. I've stuck to her side for 7 years.
You still don't like me.
No, 7 years I've cleaned, I've cooked, I've baked, I've done everything a husband is supposed to do. And did I have a chance to leave and go on and find somebody else healthy? Yes. So I accepted my wife at the worst. And then, because I wanted to make sure in this situation, I repaid her with loyalty because I stuck with her during her worst. And we're talking 7 years later, she is still not medically fit. She still has her problems. I'm still here. So that says a lot about relationship. You could bullshit all you want about how long you made me wait. But you talk about being a real man and a real thing and doing what you're supposed to do as a husband. I have 150% done what I'm supposed to do and upheld the rights of our marriage and done everything possible to make it work. If somebody is not happy after all that, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. But hey, it is what it is. If you're not happy after all that, go somewhere else. And if somebody makes that commitment to you, go somewhere else. If you're going to bitch and complain after all that, and you're the fucking go-to person, the caretaker, the help, the fucking maid, everything, and you're not going to be happy, then what can I tell you? Then go find happiness somewhere else, because ain't nobody going to do that for you.
We're not talking about me.
Hold on, I'm talking to...
I know, but I want people to know that I'm not leaving you. That's not what this is about.
When you find somebody after your first marriage and the first marriage didn't work out because the other person was a scumbag and they fucked you over, and then you find somebody to take care of you during your worst time, and you're going to complain about things after you've rehabilitated yourself, then you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, okay, if it wasn't for that person sticking with me, I wouldn't be where I am today. Just like in the case with your uncle and his girlfriend, at his worst, she didn't want to have nothing to fucking do with him because he was drinking and doing all the stuff. But then when he got better, he said, no, that's okay. I fucking got it. Because I would have did the same fucking thing and said, no, I got it.
You're misconstruing. She didn't leave him. She took care of him, but she wouldn't marry him because she
Exactly.
thought that would be a goal for him to get clean.
It's not about a goal. It's about commitment.
She stayed with him and was committed to him.
But she didn't want to sign the paper.
She wanted to give him a goal because he had no goals. He had no goals in life. He had no goals. So she had to make a goal for him, and that he wanted to get married. And she said, when you get clean, she thought, we'll have kids and I want my kids to have a good life. And I think that wasn't a bad idea. But see, on her, when she's dead, he's looking down and going, I should have married her. Out of spite, I didn't. Spite.
Everybody said they should have did something when the person dies out of sorrow and feeling bad. But in reality, when you live in everyday life, you know what you're doing and you know how to handle the situation. Like I said, people, it is as it comes. If you've been married before, you know what kind of shitbag you dealt with. And if you got somebody who's good to you and takes care of you, you cherish that person. And if you're not happy in that relationship and the other person's not happy, then move the fuck on. Why you got to stay and make the fucking person miserable? That's my take on things. And because you had to wait 5 years because you've been in a shitty marriage and you want to make sure and you don't want to make no mistakes and you take your time, that's the time you're supposed. You're allotted this. You'll grace this. It doesn't mean you have to get married right away.
So you're saying 5 years to even get serious with somebody. 5 years.
You could have a relationship, but it's not about serious.
Well, that's what the vote's about.
5 years to friggin' really make sure that you got the right one.
And I say at least a year. So you guys have a week to vote. That's 5 days to vote. And you can vote on Twitter at Magic T Spiller. That's me. The poll will be up Monday in the afternoon. And you'll be able to vote and say, do you think before you not get married, but get serious in a relationship, 5 years or 1 year? And that's the two choices that you guys have to make. Vito, would you like to close it out for us today?
Guys, when you've been in a situation where you freaking know what's going on and you've been in multiple relationships, you know what's good and what's not good. And when you've been in a shitty relationship and you see what goes on in that relationship and you know all the fucking red flags that come up, you take your time and you fucking do your thing. Nobody's perfect, but you see the red flags. And then when the red flags come up, you say, all right, do I really want to fucking do this? Okay? Then when you make the commitment to do it, and then the person takes a turn for the worse, you stand by them during their worst time, that only is a fucking gold star in your fucking pocket because you took the worst time of their life and you helped them rehabilitate or get better to where they can maintain a normal kind of lifestyle. And that's because of your hard work.
I really meant, could you put over the sponsor?
Huh?
I meant, could you put over the sponsor?
And it's, and when you're having that good time, what are you going to do? You're going to go to Goomba
Goomba
sauce. Goomba sauce. The home sauce of the Big Vito brand. And you're talking about Goomba, from ooh-ah. And he does the hard shots for the body. The Paisan who's got it going on. That fly Italian guy from SI. And he's the Goomba from ooh-ah. Goomba sauce. Use it. Like it. Love it. Do it on Sundays.
What's wrong with you? Guys, you can check Goomba Sauce, our sponsor, out at thesaucefella.com. You can order online. They will send you a crate of that shit. It is delicious. They also have salsa, thesaucefella.com. Also check the Big Vito brand out on Twitch at the Big Vito brand on Sunday nights live at 7 p.m. They do Get in Color. And also at patreon.com. Patreon is blowing up. We are going to have some great guests this week. Nunzio is Vito's guest on Getting Color the Hard Way. And we have I Love Viti and Men of Business and lots of shows and matches and neat things for you guys to check out. So make sure you go to patreon.com/The Big Vito brand. And as always, we are on social media under The Big Vito brand. So until next week, guys, we will see you next time on Mr. vs. Mrs.